some people may listen to what you said earlier on when you said when you had the big shows on like Coldplay, Christina Aguilera, and many others, I'm sure, and you decided to go home to bed, and they would have thought to themselves, well, that would be an opportunity to go and see an artist that I've never seen before. And I want you to put that into context, because anybody who has worked in live events will understand exactly what you just said, because it gets to a point where you realize
Done.
that that you don't need to see these major artists. You've done your job. All they need to do is go on stage and do their job. You don't need to go there and watch them as a spectator, because your role and your position now is not as an audience member. Your role is now an employee, and you have to look at it completely different, and you've got to take time out for yourself and not spend that time, you know, ogling
There
over major artists and hanging
there
outside the
are
backstage for
absolute
their signature.
yes. There are absolutely times where, do you know what? It's 100% worth it. Um, when Christina Aguilera played, the company that were running the closing ceremony invited all the daily IIOLE Plaza workers to come and watch the closing ceremony, to experience it and to be an audience for them. So of course, absolutely I went. I also had no idea that Christina Aguilera was going to be there, so I was very excited when that happened. But no, there's times where it's completely worth it, such as then, where it was such a shock, it was a surprise, and it was a great moment. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely the odd artist that I would sacrifice my evening in for in a heartbeat. But 90% of the time, I'm going to go home. I'm overworked, I'm
And
exhausted, and I live my life
and that
every
that
day on that
and
site.
that's when it comes to your own well-being. And we've got to remember that within our industry, because there are a lot of people who coming up to COVID and even before COVID, the mental stress and the mental well-being and the ill health within the event industry was something that's not been talked about. And this is probably not the podcast to really delve into that. But I just wanted to make sure that, like you said, if you don't take control of your own health and well-being and take time out, sometimes it can be overwhelming, the industry that you're in.